Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi. And okay, this is going to be a wild one. All right. And to be honest, I didn't think there was going to be anything of this. Really. Okay. I'm like, it goes to show you how much you don't know how well people coming into this country understand our system to exploit it. The women that come into the country, the women in the country, funny how the women find loopholes to exploit the spirit of these laws and stuff. But then again, these laws were written by Caucasians to be exploited by them. The only people that's trying to follow these laws to the spirit are the Afro men. And let's say the regular layman, okay, of any culture. All right. So you see these quotes, right? And this was a quote by Donald Trump. Ilhan Omar was married to her brother. Okay, so what happened was I watched an interview, a bunch of interviews, I guess that was given by C-SPAN. Okay, and this was his answer to the question. All right, and to prove he was asked the question, just pay attention. Just I have a couple of clips. All right, I have a few interesting clips in this one. All right, so I was like, okay, come on, y'all. Okay, a bridge too far. But then again, I'm not paying attention to politics. See, in the United States, politics has never been a clean business. All right, remember, there was a duel where a guy was killed. You know, Burr, Aaron Burr. You understand? All right, people are saying what people are saying. Trump, the white guy, is saying un-American things, but like I've been telling you, the left have been doing un-American things to at least us Afro men since many of us been on YouTube. Remember, the black women that shut down a bunch of people's channels erroneously because she didn't like what they didn't have like what they had to say. I still have the screenshots of their Facebook meetings and everything, right? YouTube shadow banning um, conservative thought, all right? Not voters, because you got a lot of people that probably did not vote for Trump, only vote Democrat, but they're thinking, wait a minute, I'm tired of our community being murdered before us. All right, we're talking about the Afro brothers, right? So they start rethinking some things, right? And YouTube comes along like, oh no, you people cannot think. You know how they refer to us as you people, right? Now, we never said Trump was like, hey, okay, he was the next Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. But his policies have done good for us. And he has tackled policies such as freeing up a bunch of inmates that were erroneously put in prison for a long time in California. He came up with that program. He's come up with a lot of executive orders that's been good for Afro people. But because he's a Caucasian guy, a bunch of simps don't like him freeing people. They like Obama even though he put more of us in prison and destroyed most of our community. So go figure, right? Let me greet everybody real quick. Horden Hardu Gudag Ola Oi to the Bang Process Los. Bonjour, mes amis. Keda Bawani Konichiwa. Ni hao. Ni hao, ma. Sani Bonani, John Paul Baragani, Assalamu alaikum and Shalom. So he's asked a question, and I went to Snopes, right, to fact check what was being asked. And even Snopes had a question mark. Like they didn't want to touch this one. And I was like, why wouldn't they want to touch this one? Oh, but the right wing are all over it. So let's get into what they're all over. First, let me remind you, let's get them thumbs up. All right. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, Reluctant Blessed, subscribe because I'm going to do my live shows on here for a while. And we need to get the subscription up, right? To donate, my PayPal me will be in the description box. All right. And that's how this to do what we do and how we help the children in the community is going to have to be all up to donations because every time we try to start something up and legitimately try to make some funds to do some legitimate good, here comes the BFM to shut it down. Period. And they know what's going on. They just don't give a heck. So we really don't need them. All right. So just click on the link if you can. Donate whatever you can. And remember, you take care of yourself and family first. Okay. So the big question was, did Representative Ilhan Omar marry her brother? All right. Now, this controversy has been going on for a while. All right. Nancy Pelosi tried to rein these women in because they were tearing apart the Democratic Party. They were showing how baseless the Democratic Party is. They were showing how hypocritical the Democratic Party was. Because these women said more racist things about more people than Trump, but they get a pass, right? As a matter of fact, the only people that get a pass for destroying another people are, well, two communities. The one that Obama put all his political capital in, and these women. All right. And so YouTube, Facebook, and all the rest of the media has made it a habit to become like the Soviet Union and squash the thoughts or voices of anybody that did not speak in the liberal kind of thought pattern, vernacular, or whatever the liberals wanted. Now, I say that because of this. I've experienced more of a struggle to speak freely since being followed by liberal women and their henchmen. And the liberal companies like Google, YouTube, Facebook, all the rest of that have decided to use their massive platform to squash any kind of thought that is not liberal. All right. It starts like that, and then you have people with guns and black suits coming to your house anytime you say something that the corporations are not going to want. So all these futuristic movies where the corporations are owning everything like Terminator, you got to think these movies are coming out of somewhere. All right. So basically, they asked Trump this question. So the reporters are the ones that are putting this on the map. And then as I started to see if there was any feet to this, any legs to this, come to find out that you got the right wing that's been all over this. And they only went after her because she went after them. Right? And so you got a bunch of people who understood how to manipulate the system, right? That just want to obliterate the system. And I would be okay with that if I was allowed to speak, if I had to speak, freedom to speak. See, that's the thing. A lot of us just want the freedom to speak our mind, earn a living and stuff, and we're being robbed of that by people who manipulated the system and want to squash speech for for people that they don't like and enhance it for people that they do like. In other words, they don't believe in fair play, fairness, justice. Understand this. So they put out that attack, and then I started looking, and the right wing hit back, and they hit back hard. And they're starting with Omar because apparently she's done some things that it was not the right wing that put her out there. Who put her out there was her own community. Dang. It's like the beef film is they're everybody's getting tired of them no matter what community they're in. Let's see what happened. So here's the breakdown as we lean to the right on this story.
Able to criticize your government? Is there anything for the possibility of immigration jobs to get by Ilhan Omar by possibly marrying a brother?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the fact that she was married to her brother. I know nothing about it. I hear she was married to her brother. You're asking me a question about it. I don't know, but I'm sure that somebody would be looking at that.
Mr. President. Okay, so they asked him a question. If you look at it, the whole interview, they were asking about the spat. They were asking about a bunch of things, but he was asked about 3 or 4 more other times about this specific question on or during this interview on C-SPAN. All right, and so I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? And you thinking, well, why didn't they do any investigating? You know, the journalists. All right, because come to find out, this story goes way back to 2016, 15, 14, 13, 12. All right, there's marriage documents of this woman marrying, then marrying another guy, and then doing it on spirituality. Oh, Lord, it's crazy. All right, so let's take a look at it. So what happened is you have people that were able to dig up the marriage certificate in 2009. I mean, these dudes went digging. Look, let me tell you something. If you're wishy-washy in your thoughts just to gain power, all right, there are going to be some people that's going to dig up whatever dirt you have out there. Believe me, if I wasn't so open with some of the things, mistakes I made, things that I've done, the thing is that there's a bunch of these B films that actually went digging in the dirt to try to find some on me. Only most of them in their lying ways got upset because the stuff that I talk about I did, like give all much of what I have to the less fortunate, they found that to be true. They come in, did you take in any children? Huh? What did you do? They found out I did. You see what I mean? And so basically, what are they going to come back with? All right. In the same token, these women have much to hide, and they've been manipulating the system so well that people are just catching them out on this. Now, I'm going to say this. The last thing you need to go into if you're going to try to be manipulating the system is into public office. Because somehow going into public office makes you public. That's why I would never run for anything. Period. Because I don't know, there might have been some things, you did in your sleep. You was like, I've been clean and stuff like that. They're like, man, you were sleepwalking and you had a crack pipe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? People will dig up some dirt, some stuff you done forgot about. You're a changed person and stuff. Once they dig it up, they will exploit it and make you look bad. So if you make an enemy of people, they're going to enemize your behind right back. I don't know if enemize is a word. Sounds like another kind of word. But these people are going all in on this woman in particular because she has left a trail of evidence to show that she's been doing some nefarious things. All right. I'll let the news reporter break it down for you. Pay attention.
She was married to a different man. She admitted that Hersey was actually only her cultural husband, a term she used to describe marriage that took place in her faith tradition only, not legally before the courts. Omar then admitted that she married another individual, Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi, on February 12, 2009, and later split with Elmi in 2011.
So if you back up a little bit, those were the documents that you saw, the February 12th, and so these are the two marriage documents to the two men. All right, the Omar Almi, people believe that to be her brother,
but did not formalize her divorce with him until 2017, after being elected to the Minnesota legislature. Omar then claims that she reconciled with Hersey and had one more child with him, filing for legal marriage only in 2018. Omar rejects all claims that Elmi is her brother, but she's not released any documentation or evidence to clarify the matter. Well, the story first appeared in 2016 during her run, when sources within the Somali community in Minnesota began reaching out to local media stating that she had married her brother in an immigration fraud scheme.
So, in other words, these weren't Caucasian people that were reaching out and digging up the dirt. These were other Somalis, because apparently she stepped on a whole bunch of toes on the way up. All right, she was all up in other people's faces, and I kept telling you that these women were appointed by the Democratic Party to kind of be the new whipmasters of their communities to try to push agendas that would destroy the communities. All right. And so these were their willing vessels. This woman just happened to be the wrong vessel. Okay. All right. So you got student loan. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. So this is Capitol Hill breaking news. Wow. Let's see that again, all the way through.
She was married to a different man. She admitted that Hersey was actually only her cultural husband, a term she used to describe marriage that took place in her faith tradition only, not legally before the courts. Omar then admitted that she married another individual, Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi, on February 12, 2009, and later split with Elmi in 2011. But did not formalize her divorce with him until 2017, after being elected to the Minnesota legislature. Omar then claims that she reconciled with Hersey and had one more child with him, filing for legal marriage only in 2018. Omar rejects all claims that Almi is her brother, but she's not released any documentation or evidence to clarify the matter. Well, the story first appeared in 2016 during her run, when sources within the Somali community in Minnesota began reaching out to local media stating that she had married her brother in an immigration fraud scheme.
And whoop, there it is. But you know what? This is a Democrat woman, so they will try to sweep this under the rug and not investigate. Because what we're finding out is if you're a black woman, a Democrat woman, or Hillary Clinton, you get to commit all the crimes you want, and everybody else is just supposed to brush it under the table. All right? If you are Donald Trump, regardless of how prejudiced you think he may be, he's committed no crime, and you got marriage documents and stuff, and you got a lot of documentation here, right? And people will say that, well, to say she married her brother is unfounded when you have the documents in front of you, right? And you have the community, her Somali community, saying, yeah, that's what she did. However, if you do anything to an Afro man or this particular president, all right, you don't need evidence to accuse them of anything. Whew. Lord, Lord. You know it's about to be on, right? This is the interview that I saw on C-SPAN where they kept asking him the question, right? And they asked him the question 3 more times. The reporter asked Trump the question because he's the president. They figured he knew something. And I'm thinking he's the president, so he probably knows something. So he repeated the question, right? Because that narrative, what? Omar married her brother? And the question, well, I don't know if it's true or not, right? Because he don't care about the investigation. With this coming from out of the Somali community, with out of her own community. Understand this. With this news coming out of her own community, with it getting legs within the social media, with the fact that some social media is trying to block this story or was trying to block it, but you had the right wing of the social media just staying on this, it started being asked a lot by reporters. So now it's in the national media, even though probably YouTube, Facebook, and everybody else tried to keep it hidden. But people just wouldn't let this particular story die because, well, they're feeling some kind of way about how she addressed them as a people in this country. All right, so she's in the hot seat, and when they take her down, you have to wonder who's next out of the 4. All right, you're kind of thinking maybe they should have listened to Nancy Pelosi. Maybe they should have made some deals. You got AOC who's in hot waters because she destroyed the Amazon deal and a bunch of jobs within New York. That's another story. Man, this is something else. So, this is what you have. Okay? This is the breakdown. And the one with the red arrow, that's who everybody think is her brother. In an immigration scam to get him over here. Wow. Guess what? She about to hit that political wall of justice. She's about to hit that political wall of justice. And AOC is going to follow, especially after that New York thing. And how she is going to follow is that they got somebody to run against her. That's a Republican. So now her seat is not safe. She has a formidable challenger behind the Amazon job loss. Oh, I guess you don't play with these people in politics. Not if you're a newbie. With that said, I'm out.